Hello, this is Gus from Relay Corp. I'm going to be doing a demo of RelayNet from the point of view of the user, and I'm going to be doing this with and without access to the internet. So let's go ahead and start the RelayNet app for the first time. And because this is the first time, I'm going to see some information about RelayNet, how it works and how it keeps me safe. So the main screen of the app, when the internet is available, basically tells me as a user that I don't need to do anything with the app at this point. All the apps are going to be using, or all my RelayNet compatible apps are going to be using RelayNet behind the scenes, and I don't need to interact with this app when the internet is available. So I only need to use it when the internet is not available. So with that in mind, let's now use a RelayNet compatible app with the internet available. For the purpose of this demo, I'm going to be using the RelayNet Echo app, which is just a dummy internal tool that we have that allows us to send and receive data through RelayNet. So it will use the internet when it's available, but it will switch to a courier when the internet is not available. So basically, all I have to do is type a message, hit send, and the message will be, in this case, the message will be sent via the internet. And I'm only seeing the notification at the top of the screen when the message actually arrives at the app again, so the Echo app, hence the name. So now let's simulate what will happen if I wanted to use an app that sent and received data, but it didn't have access to the internet at that point. So as you can see, this phone does not have a SIM card, and I'm going to turn off Wi-Fi. So at this point, the phone is completely disconnected from the internet. So if I were to send a message, and you will notice that it's not actually going through, or at least I'm not getting that notification. That's because, again, I haven't got any access to the internet anymore. So now I can use the RelayNet app to send and receive data to the internet via a courier. And because this is the first time that I'm going to use a courier, I'll need to configure the Wi-Fi connection to that to the courier's device. We are going to be using their Wi-Fi hotspot just to synchronize data locally, but both of us are going to be disconnected from the internet because, again, in the region where we are, there is no access to the internet. Just so that you know what's going on, I'm also going to show the screen of the courier. So let me split this. So on the right-hand side, you've got the picture of on the right-hand side, you've got the phone of the courier, and on the left-hand side, you've got the phone of the user. So we are going to assume that the courier and the user are at the same location at the same time at this point, and that the courier is getting ready to do that synchronization with users around them. So because, again, the courier is also disconnected from the internet, they only get the option to synchronize with RelayNet users around them. And I'm reminded as a courier that I need to turn on Wi-Fi hotspot and share the details of the network with the people that are supposed to join this network. So we're ready now as a courier, and other people nearby, other RelayNet users can now at least those that have got the Wi-Fi details can exchange data with the courier. So let's go ahead and do that from the user's perspective. So let's initiate that synchronization with the courier. Again, I'm reminded I need to join the network of the courier, which in this case, I already have that configured because I've previously connected to it. So as you can see, I already joined the network. And the app, the RelayNet app tells me that I'm ready to synchronize data with the courier. So I'll go ahead and do that. And we're done. You may have noticed that it collected data from the courier, which is true, except that obviously at this point the courier does not have any data for us. So let's close this from the user, and let's make sure that the user stays disconnected. So as a courier, I'm going to leave this area that does not have access to the internet, and I'm going to arrive at a location that does have access to the internet. So I'm simulating that by turning the Wi-Fi on the courier. So they get to that location with access to the internet. They send all the data that they collected, and then they are now ready to receive data that is coming to those users who are disconnected from the internet. So they've done that, and at this point, the courier can go back to that region that is disconnected from the internet. So again, I'm simulating that by turning Wi-Fi off, and again, at this point, the courier is also disconnected from the internet. And let's assume that now the courier and the user meet again. It will be exactly the same process. The courier will get ready to do that synchronization with people around them by making sure that their Wi-Fi hotspot is on. And then the user will again have to join the Wi-Fi of the courier and do the synchronization. And voila. Now, because we got that data from the internet via the courier, we can now see that message that we sent when we were offline. And of course, this has been a very trivial example because the user, we're using a dummy app that the only thing it does is to send just text. But RelayNet is obviously agnostic of the underlying data that it's going to be transporting. So it could be a picture, it could be a WhatsApp message, it could be a tweet, it could be a financial transaction, anything. It can be really anything. So RelayNet is agnostic of that. I hope that was helpful. Please feel free to check out relaynet.network if you've got any comments, any doubts, or if you just want to keep an eye out on the project. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.